For a long time, you walked contrary to recognition. Each step was marked by criticism, rejection, and looks that insisted on ignoring your essence. But everything has changed. Today, the same presence that once aroused suspicion is now celebrated. The same voice they tried to silence now echoes. All eyes are on you, and your name, once marginalized, now resonates as a symbol of impact and transformation. This change did not happen by chance. The hatred you faced was a reflection of the strength you carry. The light that now illuminates everything around you has always been there, but the world needed time to understand. Rejection was an inevitable process, a natural resistance to the extraordinary. But now, the spotlight is on you. The resistance that once pushed you down has become the strength that lifted you up. Like a seed that grows in silence before breaking through the earth and blossoming, your journey was marked by moments of invisibility, but also by silent and profound growth. Now, what was hidden can no longer be ignored. You have become the center of attention, living proof that no adversity can extinguish a light destined to shine. Being hated before being celebrated is the cycle of those who carry something great. So it was with Joseph, rejected by his own brothers before ruling Egypt. So it was with David, overlooked before defeating Goliath and being acclaimed as king. So it was with Jesus, persecuted before being glorified. And now, this same cycle has brought you to where you are. Every tear, every fight, every step was an essential part of this trajectory. This is the moment for which you have been prepared. The universe has positioned you under the spotlights, not just to be admired, but for your story to serve as a beacon for others. The journey from hated to celebrated is proof that when the light is authentic, it cannot be extinguished. All eyes are on you, and the stage is yours to shine. The path to prominence is often paved with resistance and persecution. There is no escaping it. Light bothers the darkness, and the glow of a chosen soul can awaken opposing forces that try to impede progress. But this opposition is a direct reflection of the magnitude of your calling. Nehemiah faced mockery, conspiracies, and sabotage while rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, but his determination was unwavering because he knew his mission came from God. And so it is with you. Each challenge, each attack, is further proof that your purpose is greater than you imagine. What seems like persecution is, in fact, confirmation that you are on the right path. It's a battle that requires courage, but it is also an opportunity to show the world that true greatness cannot be extinguished. Being different is a blessing, but it also carries the burden of separation. Those chosen to shine often find themselves on a lonely path, not out of desire, but because authenticity inevitably creates distances. It's a pain many avoid speaking about, but it is real. You feel as if you are placed on a pedestal from which no one can truly approach. This can create a chasm even between you and those you love, as they do not understand what it means to carry such a great responsibility. However, separation is, in truth, the beginning of freedom. It is in this space of solitude that you find your essence, away from external expectations and pressures. David was sent to shepherd alone, separated from his family, but it was in this isolation that he learned to fight against lions and bears, skills that later prepared him to face Goliath. So it is with you. Loneliness is not a punishment, it is training. When the spotlight finally turns on and the world turns its eyes to you, the emotional and spiritual impact is immense. Being in the spotlight can be intoxicating and frightening at the same time. There is an inevitable vulnerability that comes with exposure. Every action of yours is observed, every word weighs more than before. But there is also a strength that emerges from this moment. To be seen is to be validated, but also to be challenged to remain true to yourself. Many succumb to the pressure to please, losing authenticity in the process, but the true chosen knows that visibility is not about conformity, but about integrity. The light that now shines on you is a reflection of what already exists within you, and the challenge is to allow it to inspire, not consume. This is the time to be an example, not just of greatness, but of humility. Being in the spotlight is also an opportunity to challenge paradigms. It's not enough just to be noticed, you must use this spotlight to create impact. Paul of Tarsus understood this deeply. When he finally had his voice heard, he did not merely confirm existing teachings, but challenged them, completely redefining the path of Christian faith. Like Paul, you have been placed in the center of attention to question, to innovate, to challenge what many accept as immutable. It's a role that requires courage and vision, as few have the audacity to use their platform for something larger than themselves. The spotlight you have received is not a gift, it is a responsibility. And by accepting this role, you not only change your own narrative but also influence those who observe you. However, there is an internal challenge that few mention: overcoming doubt about one's own worthiness. When the spotlight shines, it's common to wonder, do I really deserve to be here? What if I'm not enough? These doubts are normal, but dangerous. They attempt to obscure the truth that you were chosen not by chance, but by design. You were molded for this moment, and every battle, every tear, and every silent victory contributed to your preparation. Just like Moses hesitated before the burning bush, questioning if he was indeed the leader that God had chosen, you may also feel this hesitation. But, like him, you also carry the divine assurance that you are not alone in this journey. This is the moment to trust the process, to embrace the role you have been given with confidence, knowing that you were placed here because you are exactly who you should be. Navigating the visibility you have achieved is an art, a delicate balance between veneration and criticism. When the spotlights are on you, some will applaud you enthusiastically, while others will try to dismantle every detail of who you are. This dualism is inevitable, but it is essential not to let either extreme define you. Adulation can inflate the ego, blinding you to true purposes, while criticism, if internalized, can erode your confidence and focus. Joseph, in Egypt, experienced this intensely. From prisoner to governor, he needed to stay balanced to lead with wisdom, without succumbing to flattery or resentment. True greatness lies in not being shaped by external opinions, but in remaining faithful to the essence of your calling, allowing the applause to be just a confirmation and the criticisms, fuel to keep moving forward. Why does rejection often precede recognition? The answer lies in the depths of human nature. Those who carry something extraordinary often have a disruptive energy, a force that exposes the limitations and insecurities of others. This is not a flaw, but a reflection of the role you play in the world. Like a mirror, you reveal both the good and the uncomfortable in those around you. However, this initial rejection is often the test the universe uses to strengthen your character. David, before becoming king, not only faced disbelief from his own family but also the relentless persecution of Saul, who saw in David a threat to his throne. This dynamic of rejection not only prepares you to withstand the pressures of recognition but also purifies your intentions, ensuring that, when the time comes, your light shines for genuine reasons. There is something profoundly transformative about challenging the status quo. Being chosen does not just mean receiving attention, it means using that attention to make a difference. The world does not need more conformists, it needs visionaries who are brave enough to break the cycles that keep people stuck in mediocrity. When Paul of Tarsus dared to challenge the religious standards of his time, he was not just creating controversy, he was paving the way for a new spiritual understanding that would resonate for generations. Like him, you also carry the responsibility to question what seems immutable, to bring a new perspective, to challenge old patterns with courage and compassion. Your position in the spotlight is not a pedestal for the ego, but a pulpit for transformation. This transformation, however, does not occur without resistance. Every time you decide to use your position to create impact, there will be opposing forces trying to pull you back to the comfort of conformity. This may come in the form of criticism, sabotage, or even internal doubts. But it is at this moment that you discover the true power of your calling. Just as Nehemiah stood firm against conspiracies while rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, you must also remain unshakable. The forces opposing you are not greater than the force that sustains you. Each step you take towards positive impact is a victory over these forces, a reminder that your light is needed, even if it discomforts those who prefer darkness. As you progress, the role of the chosen becomes clearer. It's not about you, but about what you represent. True glory is not in being celebrated, but in how your story inspires, uplifts, and transforms those who observe you. When Joseph finally had the chance to confront the brothers who had betrayed him, he did not use his position of power for revenge. Instead, he saw the greater plan of God in his journey and used his influence to save not just his family but an entire nation from famine. This is the power of being in the spotlight, not to be served, but to serve. Your visibility is an invitation to impact on a global scale, to be a force of transformation that echoes beyond your own time and space. When the light shines on you, it illuminates both your virtues and your vulnerabilities. It's inevitable to feel, at some point, that you are not worthy or prepared for the position you have been placed in. This internal doubt is a common struggle among those who are chosen. However, it is important to remember that you are not in the spotlight because you are perfect, but because you have been prepared. Every challenge you have faced has shaped your character, and every moment of rejection has taught you resilience. Moses, in front of the burning bush, hesitated. He asked, "Who am I to lead the people of Egypt?" And the answer was clear: he did not need to be perfect, just obedient. Similarly, the spotlight is not lit to glorify your flaws, but to highlight what makes you unique and impactful. This position is not a mistake, it is a design. The key to navigating this new space of prominence lies in authenticity. When you try to be something you are not, you lose the power that placed you there in the first place. The world needs your truth, not a diluted version of it. Remember that each person who marked history did so not because they tried to please everyone, but because they remained true to what they believed, even in the face of opposition. Think of David, who rejected Saul's armor before facing Goliath. He knew he could not fight using something that did not represent who he was. Likewise, your impact is not in adjusting to others' expectations, but in fully embracing who you are and what you have been called to do. Authenticity is not just your strength, it is your signature. Before we continue, if you have always felt different, with a special sensitivity or drawn to larger missions, our ebook is a valuable resource for you. It offers practical insights for recognizing your true mission as a chosen one and overcoming challenges of misunderstanding and isolation. By purchasing the ebook, you also receive exclusive and immediate access to our community on Discord, a space where you can share your experiences, connect with others who understand what you are going through, and find genuine support in a welcoming environment. Check out the first pinned comment here on the video and receive unique and exclusive offers. The legacy you are building is not made of applause or trophies, but of the lives you transform along the way. Being celebrated is fleeting, but the impact you leave on people is eternal. Think of Jesus, who, even after being glorified following the resurrection, did not seek applause. Instead, he appeared to his disciples, comforted them, and gave them the mission to continue his work. He knew that the real impact of his life would not be measured in adoration, but in transformation. Similarly, your story, your actions, and your courage to face adversity are what really matter. When the spotlight finally fades, what remains will not be the fleeting brightness of attention, but the depth of the seeds you have planted in the hearts and minds of those who have had the privilege of crossing your path. As you progress on your path, one of the greatest revelations you will have is that the spotlight was never about you, but about the impact your journey has on others. Being under everyone's eyes is a call to lead, inspire, and guide. The true power of a chosen one lies not in personal greatness, but in reflecting the greater purpose they carry. This is the difference between fame and legacy. Fame is momentary, but legacy is eternal. Joseph understood this when, instead of using his position of power for revenge, he chose to save his family and an entire nation from famine. His power served the greater good. So it is with you. The spotlight is a means to amplify the message and impact, not to glorify the ego. It is the chance to transform lives and inspire others to see the light within themselves. However, being a central figure comes with the weight of expectations that are not always fair or realistic. People project onto you their hopes, fears, and even frustrations. Some expect you to be infallible, while others wait for your mistake. This type of pressure can be paralyzing, but this is where the resilience of the chosen is tested. Remember that your mission is not to please everyone, but to be true to the call that has been given to you. Moses faced this when leading the Israelites out of Egypt. The same people who followed him in ecstasy at the beginning were the ones who murmured and doubted him in the face of challenges in the desert. Yet, he remained steadfast because he knew that his obedience was the key to fulfilling God's plan. The same truth applies to you. It is obedience to your purpose that sustains you amidst criticisms and expectations. Sometimes, you will be misunderstood, even by those closest to you. This is one of the most painful realities of being a chosen one. Those who are close to you may not see the fullness of what is being built. They may question your motivations, discredit your efforts, or simply not understand why you have been called to something that seems so great. Jesus experienced this when he was rejected in his own land, where many saw him just as the carpenter's son. But remember, the lack of understanding from others does not diminish the depth of the purpose placed in you. On the contrary, it serves as a reminder that your vision was given to you, not to them. The chosen one is called to lead, even if the path seems lonely. There is also the reality that being in the spotlight attracts both admirers and opportunists. Not everyone who approaches you does so with pure intentions. Some are there to take advantage of your position, while others may try to divert you from your mission. Here lies the importance of wisdom and discernment. Just as Nehemiah had to deal with enemies disguised as allies while rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, you also need to be vigilant to protect what you are building. This does not mean mistrusting everyone, but developing the ability to discern the hearts around you. Light attracts, but it is your duty to decide who can stay close to it and who cannot. Amidst all this, it is essential that you stay connected to your source. Being in the spotlight can be draining, and the temptation to rely solely on your own strength is great. But this is where many lose their way, forgetting that it was the greater purpose that placed them where they are. Dedication to prayer, meditation, and reflection is what will keep you centered. Jesus, even amidst the crowds, always took moments to withdraw and pray, reconnecting with the Father. This habit kept him steadfast in his mission, even in the face of the most extreme adversities. Likewise, you need this sacred space to renew your strength and align with your calling. It is in this place of quietude that you find the clarity needed to keep moving forward. Despite the challenges, the spotlight also offers a unique opportunity, the chance to influence. When you are visible, your words and actions carry more weight, reach more people, and have the power to generate significant changes. This in itself is a tremendous responsibility. What you say and do not only reflects who you are but also impacts those around you, especially those who admire you. This is why it is crucial to maintain focus on the purpose that led you there. Leaders like Nehemiah and Paul did not let distractions divert them from their missions. They used their platforms to build and edify, even when facing opposition. Similarly, you have been placed in the spotlight to be a force of transformation, to spread light and bring hope where there was previously darkness. However, to sustain this influence, a deep commitment to humility is necessary. Visibility can easily become a trap for the ego, shifting the focus from impact to self-promotion. This is why the greatest leaders in history always emphasized the importance of remaining rooted in something larger than themselves. Jesus demonstrated this perfectly by washing his disciples' feet as an act of service and humility, even being the Son of God. He made it clear that true greatness lies in serving, not in being served. Similarly, you must remember that your position is not about what you can gain, but about what you can give. The spotlight is not a throne, but a platform to serve humanity with love and compassion. There is something profoundly powerful in embracing the idea that you were chosen for this position, not just by chance, but by a deliberate and divine plan. Every moment of rejection you faced was actually a preparation for this exact moment. Just as gold needs to be refined in fire before revealing its true beauty, you too needed to go through discomfort, loneliness, and challenges to be ready for what is to come. God never places someone under the spotlight without first preparing the heart, strengthening the mind, and shaping the character. Joseph's story is one of the greatest proofs of this. Years of servitude and imprisonment could have destroyed him, but instead, they strengthened him. When he was finally elevated to power, he was not just ready to lead, he was ready to serve. And it is this same preparation that you carry within you. When you look back, you realize that everything was part of a larger process. The criticisms, the pains, and even the moments of doubt were pieces of a puzzle that now begins to fit together. It's a reminder that, although the path may seem confusing at the moment, there is a broader vision that you are not yet fully able to see. Remember David, who was anointed king long before he took the throne. He continued tending sheep and facing battles while God worked behind the scenes, preparing him for the role he would eventually assume. In the same way, your journey is being designed by hands that see much beyond what you can imagine. This moment under the spotlight is not the final destination, but an important part of the journey that is still being built. Being celebrated may seem like the peak, but the true essence of the chosen lies in remaining steadfast when the spotlights eventually go out. It is easy to be admired in the glory of the moment, but what really matters is consistency and purpose. People may applaud today and turn their backs tomorrow, but your mission does not depend on that. Nehemiah, while rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, faced celebrations and opposition, but never shifted his focus from what needed to be done. He knew that his responsibility was greater than the opinions of his contemporaries. Similarly, you must remain committed to what you have been called to do, regardless of changes in circumstances or perceptions of people around you. The real impact is not in how you are seen, but in what you leave behind. As you progress, one of the greatest challenges will be to protect your essence amid chaos. When you are in the spotlight, it is easy to get lost in the noise around you. There are so many voices competing for your attention, some praising, others criticizing, some trying to sway you away from your mission. But here is where the true strength of the chosen manifests, in the ability to silence the external world to hear the inner voice. Jesus demonstrated this repeatedly by retreating to pray, even when crowds followed him. He knew that the secret to fulfilling his purpose was to remain connected to his source. Similarly, you need moments of silence, of introspection, to remember why you started and where you are going. It is in these moments that you find clarity, strength, and renewal. Ultimately, being in the spotlight is both an honor and a responsibility. You are chosen not just to be admired, but to lead, inspire, and bring about change. Every step you take is watched, and every decision you make has the potential to influence lives. But never forget that your strength does not come from the spotlight itself, but from the purpose that placed you there. You are not alone in this journey. The same force that brought you here will continue to support you, guide you, and open paths where there were none before. So, stand firm, confident, and grateful. You have been called to something greater, and this is just the beginning. There is something deeply transformative in understanding that the spotlight is not just a light that shines on you, but a reflection of the light that already existed within you. It does not create your greatness, it reveals it. This means that, regardless of how long you remain in the spotlight, what really matters is the essence of what you bring. This essence cannot be manufactured nor extinguished because it is an expression of the purpose that was planted in you long before you realized it. Just as the psalmist David declared that he was formed in secret, you too were shaped away from the eyes, prepared so that, at the right time, you could shine authentically and powerfully. The spotlight is just the stage, the true strength lies in the light you carry. While you occupy this position of prominence, remember that your impact is not measured just by what you achieve, but by what you inspire in others. True leaders do not just lead, they empower. Every word, every decision, and every action of yours carries the potential to awaken something in someone, to plant seeds of courage, faith, and determination. Think of Paul, who through his letters not only taught but encouraged entire communities to live with purpose and integrity. You too have this ability. Your journey, marked by highs and lows, rejection and celebration, is an inexhaustible source of inspiration for those who are still struggling to find their own path. Use your voice, your story, and your platform to be a channel of transformation in the lives of others. As you walk this journey, there is one essential principle that must guide every step: gratitude. Gratitude for the path that brought you here, even with its difficulties. Gratitude for the people who supported you, but also for those who challenged you, for they were the ones who helped shape your strength. Gratitude for the spotlight, but above all, for the purpose that placed you in it. It is gratitude that keeps you humble and centered, reminding you that, although you are in the spotlight now, your true mission is greater than any stage. Like Joseph, David, and so many others before you, your story is living proof that the journey of a chosen one is never in vain. Every challenge and every victory are parts of a greater plan that you have been called to fulfill. The destiny of a chosen one is not just to shine, but to make that shine illuminate paths for others. However, the greatest accomplishment of the chosen is to recognize that their light is not entirely theirs, it reflects something larger, a divine purpose. Joseph understood this when he told his brothers, "It was not you who sent me here, but God." This realization is liberating, as it relieves the weight of carrying the responsibility of the spotlight alone. Like Joseph, you too have been placed in this position to fulfill something that transcends your own story. Your role is to be a conduit, a bridge between divine inspiration and those who need direction, courage, and transformation. When you understand this, your light does not diminish, it intensifies because it now serves something much greater. As time passes, doubt may return, questioning whether you are on the right path or if you are sufficient for the position you have been placed in. This doubt is natural, but it should never be enough to stop you. Look back and see how much you have already overcome. Every obstacle that seemed insurmountable, every rejection that seemed unbearable, was overcome to bring you exactly where you are now. There is no error in the plan that brought you here, and there is no reason to doubt what is still to come. God does not make mistakes in His designs, and you are living proof of that. Doubt is a reminder that you are still human, but your faith is the strength that sustains you and propels you to continue. Finally, remember that being chosen does not mean having all the answers, but being willing to move forward even when the next step is not clear. It is about trusting that the light you carry will be enough to illuminate the next meter of the path, and then the next, and the next. Just as Jesus said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness." This promise is the foundation of your journey. Even when the spotlight disappears and the path seems uncertain, the inner light will continue shining, guiding you and those who rely on your leadership and inspiration. This light is inextinguishable because it does not depend on you, it is sustained by something eternal. And so, you arrive at the point where you understand that the journey was never about being hated or celebrated, but about transforming into the channel that the universe needed. You were called, shaped, and placed in a position that requires courage, authenticity, and compassion. Your story is a testimony that even the toughest battles have a purpose and that every moment, whether of pain or glory, is a piece of a larger plan. Now, the spotlight may remain or disappear, but your mission continues. Continue walking in faith, for there are more lives to impact, more paths to illuminate, and more hearts to transform. This is not the end, it is just the beginning of something even greater. You have come this far, and that is a testament to your commitment to your journey and your purpose. Understand, being in the spotlight is not just a privilege, it is a responsibility that few are prepared to carry. But you are. Every obstacle overcome, every silent tear, and every victory won have proven that you have what it takes to shine and transform lives. What you do with this spotlight matters, because your light is not just yours, it is to illuminate the path for others who are still in the darkness. Gratitude for your progress, courage in the face of challenges, and humility to serve are the pillars that sustain your journey. You are not here by chance. The universe has positioned you because it knew you were the right person for this moment. Continue to stand firm, confident, and determined. Your story is unique, and it is still being written, page by page, with each choice you make. If this message resonated with you, click the like button below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content that will strengthen your journey, and activate the notification bell to stay connected. Don't miss the chance to be part of our exclusive community on Discord by purchasing our ebook through the link pinned in the first comment. I am sure it will be a valuable resource for you. It will not only bring clarity about your mission and unique gifts, but also give you access to connect with other chosen ones who will welcome you and offer support. Be sure to be part of this environment. This is a crucial moment, and together we can impact many lives. I want to extend a huge thank you to everyone who supports us through Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us improve our videos every day and always offer the best content. If you also want to support us, the link is in the first pinned comment. Continue with us and watch the recommended video appearing on the screen now, or follow the playlist of the Chosen One's secrets, as each episode was created to guide you even deeper into your essence, revealing all the power and potential that resides within you. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of this community. See you in the next video. Much strength and light on your path, and see you soon.